all sorts of piled up junk. Give you guys a few minutes before we start getting into stuff. What's going on, Jacob? Glad you're here. What's up? How's everybody doing tonight? Haven't done one of these in a while. Just to kind of reiterate, this is a live video. This isn't any kind of like normally scheduled video. This is just me taking a break from working here in the shop and hanging out with you guys just for a few minutes. Nothing crazy. This is not an edited video. I'm just going to be talking this whole time. So if you don't like that, sorry. Just have to wait till the next video comes out. But anyway, we're just working out here in the shop. You can see, guys, I've made quite the mess with parts just scattered out around here, throwing things around, and made a lot of good progress on this floor pan. You saw in the last video that I had this pretty much burned in, just about done. As far as the pan itself goes, I finished up running my spot welds all up along this edge, and then the spot welds to the frame rail, and now I'm actually tacking in the floor hump where we cut it out before. So we'll finish that up for the next video, and then again, I've got my new rear floor pan for the back side here that I ran out of cutting wheels, so I got to go get some of those before I can really start doing stuff with it. But so I figured I'd just finish up welding in the hump and the floor pan and whatnot. So still a little bit of work left to go, but still making pretty good progress. And I kind of enjoy welding when it goes right, except whenever you have your your gas line to your welder start leaking and you don't realize it. You burn through a couple welds. This hose right here on the back side here had started to, it managed to unscrew itself, and it was leaking gas, and just ever so slightly, but it was enough to where my welds were going garbage, and I ended up finding out that leak was there, and everything went smoothly after that. All right, I'll answer some questions. What you guys got for me tonight? It's been a while since I talked to you. Any advice on replacing floor pans? About to start Bronco, and it's nerve-wracking. Yeah, it's very intimidating when you first start. Just cut a little bit at a time. Don't get in a hurry. Take your time with it, and don't cut more than you need to. But the good thing about it, you can make your own, or I think they make floor pans for Broncos. I'm pretty sure. I'm fairly certain you can find a floor pan for it. But just take your time. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm certainly not the best welder in the world. I just make it work. So just take your time and have fun with it. Don't get too worked up about it, and just be careful with it. You're gonna put the stock hubcaps back on it? No, but I'll keep them. I don't plan to, but it is cool that they're still there. That one's got a massive dent in it, but the rest of them look fairly decent. But no, I don't intend to, because these aren't even 15s; they're 14s. It's been a while. Yes, it's been a while since I've done a live stream. I haven't talked to you guys in a minute. It's been quite a while since we've done something. But yeah, it's like I said, this is just a live video. It's going to be me talking to you guys, answering questions. It's not a normal video like you see with me actually working on the car. This is just me stopping to hang out. So if you don't like the talking, then I'm sorry. You fix the rocker in the door? I don't plan to. I'll fix the squeak, but everything else, I like the way it looks. It adds the character, and it holds true to the story of the car. Now, one day we might fix it, but as for now, no, don't intend to at all. I think it wears it as a badge of honor. Most needed tools to restore a car? Patience. I'll go further than anything you got in the toolbox, and maybe a set of sockets. Hope the Challenger project goes good. I really want to see it cruising someday. Yeah, it's good. It's going well. There's been a few hang-ups, but nothing crazy. We made really good progress with it. The biggest thing, I still have to get a trunk floor. The trunk floor is on back order, so I don't know how soon I'll be able to get it. So I may have to reshift my focus elsewhere. But once I get the floor pans done, then I may start cutting out the trunk pan, but for right now, I don't know what I'll do for a floor pan. I'll still have to figure out if I can get one. A trunk pan, I'm sorry, not a floor pan. And then I'm really excited about putting this new engine in it. That's what I really want to do. But again, I want to get out the not so fun stuff like welding in floor pans and trunk floors and frame rails before we even start on the fun stuff. So we'll keep going, doing what we got to do. I've got all these boxes right here. All in the petty truck here. That's all parts for this car. There's door panels. Like you saw in the last video, every single thing in this truck is going in this car. So we've got a lot to do. Heck, we might even put our bumpers on next video. I don't know. But I got to pull off the rear one anyway to, get to the trunk floor and whatnot. So we might even just put the front one on to see how it kind of looks. But, we've got carpet, we've got insulation, we've got a dash pad on the way, door panels. We can do a lot of stuff. There's some things I don't want to do just yet before we, finish welding. And, we're going to be climbing in and out of the car a lot, so I don't want to mess up anything that's brand new. So we'll see. You going to paint it? No. Big hammer does help. Yeah. Yes, it absolutely does. You're going to clear coat it? Maybe. So I have an idea for this car. Compared to the Charger, it's going to be a little different. I kind of want to letter this car up. I talked about doing that with the Charger, but the Charger just kind of looks way too cool to be what it is. So on the door, we've got this gnarly looking dent in the rocker in the bottom side of the door. I thought it would look cool to put some kind of number right here. And then, so take a look at the petty truck. So, Dad and I know a guy that he hand painted all this, and he does an amazing job. But you can see, so all this right here was there before. And what he did was hand paint the numbers and then went back and brought the scratches back through the number. And, he does amazing work. So you can see how you can really play with the door on the Challenger. So I kind of want to do something where it looks like he got hit on this side. And I think that it would look pretty cool to do that, because the other door looks fine, but then have like think about like an old race car back in the day. They hit each other, but they kept going. That's what they say, rubbing is racing. So if I put some kind of number on it, on the bottom of it looks like a tire, like it looks like a tire's been spinning on it or something, where they got too close. I just think it would look cool. So we'll see what happens. Let me go back to some questions here. Are you going to fully restore it? You could say that. Mechanically, yeah. Still working on the budget build restoration project from a few months ago. Yeah, I got a new carburetor on it, but I've got low compression in one cylinder. I did a compression check, and I had about 120 to 130 in most of them. And I think it was number 4 cylinder had 90. That concerned me. So it was late at night, so I gave up. But it just has a misfire on that one cylinder. And it's got low compression. It's got a ton of blow-by. So I don't know if the rings aren't doing what they should, or maybe I've got misadjusted valves on that cylinder. I need to pull the valve cover off and check the valves on it. But I just don't know. I've tried just about everything. It's got a brand new carburetor on it, new spark plugs. It's getting fire to that cylinder, but when you pull the plug wire off of it, it doesn't change anything. So I don't think it's building compression. What did you think about Junkyard Digs and Thunderhead 289 Satellite Revival? I thought a lot of it. I liked it. It's a cool car. It has a cool story, and a rare car at that. And I liked it a lot. Yes, I am putting a modern Hemi in it. I'm putting a 2015 5.7 in, which we are going to pull in here one day. But I didn't want to do that while we still have all this room right here where I can open the doors. And I'll probably not pull it in here until I get to at least the trunk floor almost done. But that's going to be a while. This is a 73, by the way. Somebody had asked what year it was. Kevin's here. What's going on, man? Glad you're here from Junkyard Digs. While you're at it, if you're here, subscribe to Junkyard Digs, Thunderhead 289, Classic Mustangs 429, Vice Grips Garage, The Boss Garage, all those dudes. Great guys, rolled with Power Tour, and can't ask for a better bunch, honestly. They're awesome guys. You selling anything? I should. One day, maybe. What are you doing for wheels and tires? Classic Steelies or aftermarket ones? I've got an idea. So I've got some. So this car again. The main goal is for it's the handle over anything and handle like a modern car. So I've got the 17-inch. I got a 17 by 9 in the rear and a 17 by 8, I think, Anson Sprint. It looks like a slot mag, but it's in aluminum. And which they did. You can get them doing aluminum, but back in the day they were magnesium. But you can get them. They're in 17-inch, and I think it has like 275/40s in the back and 245/40s in the front. Maybe I gotta get new front tires for it, or I would have them as rollers. But I think those would look really good with the car kind of sitting pretty low. So, I want it to handle and ride like a modern car. So we'll see. There's no telling what I'll do just yet. You're going to meet up with Kevin and Luke this summer for revivals. We had planned to do something actually after Thanksgiving, but that didn't happen because of weather. Kevin was having some really bad snow, and it was raining down here, so we couldn't make it happen, unfortunately. But we're looking towards, when things start to warm up, maybe in the springtime. Hopefully we can all get together. And I need to go up there and actually visit them at some point, but the weather just seems to be a little bit more cooperative down here, so we'll see. Where's the blue Plymouth Satellite? Just on the other side of this wall, under the carport. Any performance parts going on the Hemi? I thought about going with getting the heads ported and doing a cam and lifter upgrade, and that's really it. Maybe bigger injectors. I don't want to go all out with it. I want it to be a driver before anything else. So it would be fairly simple build. Nothing crazy. And the fact that it's also my first one, so I don't want to go too crazy and do something that I regret afterwards. I want something that I can learn on first, and then maybe that can open up the doors for future performance upgrades. But for right now, the only things I would consider would be doing a cam and maybe some injectors, and that's about it. Really nothing crazy. I would not leave that door like that. Well, the good thing is it's not your car, so you don't have to. Using drum brakes or disc brakes in the rear. I want to go with disc in the rear. It's already disc in the front, and I fixed all that. You saw that in the video, but I do want to convert this to the rear. I'm trying to figure out what I need to do as far as who to go with and who's got the best kit, because what I want to do, I've seen a few out there. I don't know which one I'm going to go with yet, but I want to go with one that uses factory-style rotors and calipers. That way, if I ever have to replace anything, I just buy 4 calipers that that are the same, or at least one or two for each side that they match. I'd rather have all factory parts so it's easy to fix if something goes wrong, and then factory style calipers. I could put larger ones, but I want maintainability to be kind of factored into it. Did I read somewhere you bought your first car back, and if so, when is it coming to the shop? I have not paid for it yet. I haven't picked it up. I wanted to, so I went to PRI this weekend, and I wanted to go get it then, but we just couldn't make things work out to be able to go get it in time. So we're going to try. I'm trying to hope to go get it after the new year, maybe, or sometime in the next few weeks. I really want to get that car back and put it up and just hang on to it for a rainy day, for when all this stuff is out of the way. This Challenger's done. Could be our next project. We'll have to see. But yeah, I really want to get this car done before I even touch another project. I kind of strayed around. I bounced around to different projects with the Charger, and I think that's really what messed me up in the end for Power Tour. Now, I'm not saying this car's going to Power Tour, but I want to focus on this car and get it to where it is a basically completed project. Maybe minus a couple minor things, but I want it to be a good running and driving car before I even think about doing another project. I could do a couple small things here and there, but again, I want to really focus on this thing. But as far as the other Dart goes, I don't know. I'll have to find out. Well, we'll see. Let's see. It's going to be a beast when it's done. I hope so. It's going to be a manual car. It'll be that door. I got to fix that latch. There we go. So it's going to be a manual car. still, I've had people ask me like, don't put an automatic in it. I would never do that. It's already a manual. Perfect. Just put another manual transmission back in it. That combined with the Hemi, it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Where's the charger? It's put up out of the rain. Got it hiding. You should just see if you can get a different door. Nah, I'm good. What are you going to do with the 318, the original that originally came with the charger? Look at it, walk around it. I don't plan to do anything with it besides just let it collect dust. Got my shirt today. That is awesome. Glad you got it. Hey, again, the Challenger shirts shipped out this Friday. They are all on their way. Every single order has been shipped. So be patient, and you should hopefully get them in the next week. I hope so. And if anything goes wrong, feel free to email me. Email's in the description of this video. So if anything ever happens and you did not get your shirt or something did not happen with a sticker, let me know, and we can get you squared away. Type of brake are you using in the rear? It's got drums from the factory, but I'll go with discs eventually. Hey, Dylan, where's Thunderhead? I don't know. I think he's at work. Or maybe he's at home. I have no idea. Happened to the Aspen? I gave it to my friend. Gave it to a friend of mine. He was looking for a project, and the Aspen had lived its useful life with me, and I had no plans to do anything else with it. So I said, instead of me just messing or letting it sit, I just gave it to him. And he's pulled the engine and transmission and plans to go with a small block 4-speed combo. So do a burnout competition between all your cars? Nah, I don't want to break something. I'll spin the tires, but I don't want to break anything. What's the motivation to tackle such a big rebuild? There's a few. That's a really good question. Wow, you're digging deep on that one. That is a very good question. That's something I haven't heard. The motivation. So, one, a Challenger is probably my favorite Mopar. I grew up watching Vanishing Point, grew up riding in Challengers with my dad, and I just fell in love with these e-bodies. I do love Cudas, but a Challenger just has the body lines. It just looks so good to me. And I've always wanted one, and it just kind of fell in my lap to where I was able to purchase this one. But I love Challengers, and in anything, I like taking on cars that shouldn't be back on the road, but do deserve a second chance. Now, some people disagree with the way it looks. They don't like that I'm not painting it, but at the end of the day, we're still getting this car back on the road, and that's the main goal, is for this thing to drive again. And is it worth spending $40,000, $50,000 on a full restoration and making it absolutely bone stock? In my opinion, no. Somebody might disagree with me, and that's fine. But my motivation is it's my passion. I enjoy doing this kind of stuff. I enjoy getting mad at these small little details and having to work my tail off just to get a dang floor pan in. But I wouldn't trade it for anything, honestly. It's probably the most fun I could ever want to do. I just absolutely love doing stuff like that. And I get it honest over here because this is Dad's truck, and we actually he actually pulled the engine by himself and tore it down, had to get new cam bearings put in it, and then I helped him put the engine and transmission back in, and now he's kind of piecing it back together. I think he's already had it run. I don't know if it went well or not, but there's fuel in the fuel filter, but he's been had this thing torn down for quite a while, but I'm glad to see he got it back together. But it's stuff like this that excites me. Making something that was sitting in a field for longer than I've been alive get back on the road. This thing sat for 35 years, and it just excites me to see this thing go back to driving. And that's my thing. Is my motivation and my passion is to drive the car. Don't care about I like car shows. Don't care about them. Doesn't bother me if they think that my car's junk. Don't care. I'm all about driving it there. I will not haul a car to a car show unless I have to. Like, I hauled Rump to a car show, but that's just because I didn't have insurance on it. So I hauled him there and drove him around in the car show. But yeah, I do not care for hauling a vehicle to a car show. If I can't drive it there, then I don't need to go. So that's just me. That's my passion, just getting a car that does not run and drive and making it run and drive. So that's me. Anyway, now I'm off my pedestal there. We're good. Kevin's installing a Right Stuff kit as we speak. He's doing a disc brake conversion on the front of that Le Mans. I don't know if he's doing the rear or not, but he's actually lifted it and put those big mud tires on it. The thing looks pretty gnarly. And he's been putting floor pans in it. It's that flooded Pontiac video he did, I guess, about a year ago? But yeah, that car is going to look sick. What happened to the Warlock? That's the video of how I discovered your channel. It's gone. Well, it's not gone, but it's been put to the side because it needs a new frame. And the engine and transmission got donated to the Muscle Truck 2.0, the orange 77. So the whole truck needs to be, that's a good truck to actually restore. And it needs a frame because the frame is shot on it. And that's why progress has been halted on it. Let's see. How many cars do you have? I'd have to get out a list. I think it's like in the teens. I don't remember. Way too many. Any idea how much it's cost up to this point? Let's see. So the engine was $500. The floor pans are probably $200 or $300 a piece. And then let's see, I probably spent $500 on rebuilding the brakes, $400 on the front suspension, and then a couple hundred on that master cylinder. So that's about it though so far. It stacks up, but if you take your time and really spend your money where it counts, and you can get a lot of stuff done. I've watched every video about this car because I'm a big Mopar fan, and I really enjoy watching this car come together. Thank you. I know I took a month off. Well, I didn't take a month off. It just took me a month to find the time to start cutting floor pans out because 1, I was waiting on parts. 2, the holidays kicked in. 3, just had a lot of family and friend obligations going on that it was hard for me to be able to get into this car the way that I wanted to, because once you start digging into this stuff, it becomes a nightmare just about because you got to cut out every bit of rust and form and fit your pans the way they need to be, and it just starts to add up. So it took a while for me to get this video out, but it's not because I took a month off, but, just things got in the way. Life got in the way. Real life got in the way. And we'll keep trucking. We're caught up now, so I'm glad to say that. So we should be back on track. Any suggestions for a channel that just broke 1,000 subs to not get lost or overwhelmed? Buick GS, I was a barn find and a total mess. I want to make it awesome, but don't want to make people mad. Tell you, oh, listen, dude. Listen. You are going to make people mad no matter what you do. You cannot do anything without making somebody on YouTube mad. So once you get that out of your head that, people are going to get mad at you, don't worry about it. You'll be fine. Do what you want because look at me. I'm doing what I want, and I've got a fan base that believes the same thing. A lot of people disagree with me, but a lot of people agree with me too. More people agree with what you do than you realize. Like, take a look at my last video. I've got thousands of thumbs ups and hardly any thumbs down. But the people who ring out the most, the people who are the loudest, are the ones who comment saying how bad you're doing, how awful that you are, how much they disagree with the way you're doing things. And those are the ones that stick. But you also got to look at that like ratio. You're going to see a bunch of people who really agree with you and really think you're doing an awesome job. Don't get weighed down with what people think. I mean, yeah, be sensible, be considerate, and just thank them for watching. Honestly, that's all you can do. But don't worry what people think. Just go ahead and block that out. Got your shirt? Good deal. Stock style transmission? I don't know. I don't know yet. if I do, I'd like to use. I've talked with Passion Transmissions. They talked about using one of their overdrives. Don't know if that's going to happen. Talked maybe a possible factory overdrive. Don't really care for those as much. The gear spacing, I don't really like the way that they're set up. Might try and pursue a 5-speed of some sort. I don't know. We'll have to see. Haven't gotten that far yet. 3-speed will bolt up just fine to move the car, but after that, we'll have to figure out something. No, nothing mechanically, but I would love to do what you guys do and fix up an old Chevelle Super Sport. Hey, that's just what you got to do, man. You gotta figure it out. You just got to start learning and get out there. That's the only way you can learn something mechanically or anything for that matter. It's just get out there and do it. So just start somewhere. Trying to find my. Oh, sorry. Let me go back a little bit more. Then we'll go. Sorry, guys. Should do a burnout. Oh. Should do a burnout in every single car you have. I don't think every car I have will do a burnout. That's the problem. Have you an opinion on a firm feel front suspension? Think about getting one for my seat body. I've heard good stuff about them, but I don't know firsthand. I can't speak to them firsthand. But if you want to do it, just try it. Can't wait to see the engine in it, but that's me. I'm impatient. Yeah, that's the problem. You gotta not be impatient with a lot of this stuff because there's long hours into what you see happening. It probably took me, gosh, I'd say 15 hours of just straight work to get to this point with a floor pan of just me working, and you guys only get a 25-minute video out of that. Because I have to cut out so much that, it's a lot of stuff that gets repetitive or stuff that just doesn't matter. And there's hours and hours into a single video that you don't get to see. So, let me catch up, sorry. People would complain if you saved a puppy's life on YouTube. Yeah, you probably did it the wrong way, yeah. It's better to get it running and performing well than restoring it immediately. Yeah. Make it OEM. Make it OEM. Retro modders are mad. Go retro mod. OEM people get mad. Yeah, there's no winning. You can't win. Oh, let me show you guys something cool that I got today. Will you go for a roll cage? Maybe. Probably not. It doesn't really need one. Sorry. Let me pull out something here that I got in the mail today that you guys will enjoy. Forgot I had this. I actually posted about this on my Instagram today on my story. But what we've got here is this is a piece of a draw-through carburetor turbo setup. So your carburetor is going to bolt here, and then this bolts to your intake. So this is a draw-through setup that we've got for. It's a Ray J setup for maybe like an RV or a truck. So don't know what I'll put it on. Well, we've got there's some couplers. This is our piping. I don't want to unwrap that, but I'll show you the cool part of it all that kind of gives you the idea of what we've got. Let's see. This is something cool. This is an old school 2-barrel to 4-barrel adapter. So in the picture that is in this manila folder over here, it has a cutout. I mean, it's meant to be bolted on either a 2-barrel or 4-barrel application. And if you have a 2-barrel, then you can bolt this little adapter onto it, which I think is crazy. And then this is if you want to mount the carburetor in a remote location. I'm just going to leave that packed up because I don't plan on using that. But what's cool here is our cast iron factory style. If I could get out of the box, give me a second. Exhaust manifold. And why I bought this was because I wanted to do a turbo of some sorts on a budget. And this manifold is a key piece into making all that work, because where you get into a lot of issues is when you have to do custom piping and custom headers, all that stuff. Now, I can use this for a blow-through application, and I might, but for right now, it'll work for a draw-through. It's all bolt-on, basically, all this stuff here. So what happens is you have your this is on the passenger side, and your turbo bolt's right here. And what you do, you take the driver's side manifold and run that exhaust pipe up under the oil pan, and then into the actual exhaust flange that you would use for the factory. So that exhaust is running up through here through the turbo. So both sides are spooling up your turbo right here, and then you have whatever your induction system will be on this side. So it's like a factory RV style thing, and I don't know how I plan to set up everything because I don't have everything in the kit, but I will use it at some point. I think it's pretty neat, but we'll do something with it. I don't know what I'll put it on. I considered rump. I thought that would be kind of cool since it's already a truck and it's a manual small block. Or just, I don't know. We'll have to find out. But I don't want to do it with a dart because I don't want to blow it up. But we'll put it on something here in the future. But I think rump would be pretty cool with it. But we'll have to see. You know, if you just roll up to a car show in this junky looking truck and pop the hood and it's got a massive turbo under it. So we'll see. We'll see what we'll do. Let me catch up on some of these. Been working my 63 Corvair for the past year. Got stuck on the brakes for a few months. Now I'm trying to get copper and nickel brake lines made. Been using the Eastwood tool flares. Don't look right. I bought like just a cheapo flare off of Summit Racing, and I bought all my fittings from there too, and I made all the brake lines for the Charger. They all worked fine. I bought a roll of stainless. Stainless is a little bit harder to flare, but it is like basically impossible to kink or bend the wrong way. I was able to work that stuff like nobody's business. It was so easy to use. The only issue I had was flaring it right, but you know, I did all the brake lines from the master cylinder down to the distribution block, and then to the adjustment valve, and what else? I think I had to, something else I did. Oh, and then I had to make some kind of union to go to I bought new pre-formed brake lines to go down the back side of the car and then over to the rear axle, but that I could have made all that. I've made them before, but I just thought it would be easier for the sake of time, you know, to go ahead and do all that myself. Where else are we? Seen the Mad Max Falcon in the U.S. Shipping costs were crazy. I would love to have one of those. Those things are cool. Put it on the Cordoba. The Cordoba is a big block, or I would. If it was a small block car, then I definitely would put it on there. What are you putting in the Charger floor? I've got a full floor pan for that car that I have not put in yet. Challenger's going to rock just like the Charger. I hope so. I really hope so. And I'm doing a lot of things on this car that I'm doing differently than I did the Charger. I've learned a lot on that car, and this thing is going to be way different. Not much green left after pressure washing here. Yeah, you're right. It's pretty much all gone at this point. No more stuff growing on it. I still want to clean it up a little bit more, but it looks a lot better than before we cleaned it up. You putting headers on it or stock manifolds on the Challenger? Well, I've got stock Cherokee manifolds, and those, from what I've read, are the easiest manifolds to use for a swap like this because they're very tight up against the engine. And they dump towards the rear on both sides, so that'll work over here on this, and I'm hoping that it'll work over there. I think it should, but as far as I've been told, it's pretty much the easiest way to do some kind of swap in a different car. So I'll probably stick with those unless I find a set of headers I like, but no, I'll probably just leave those factory manifolds on it. Put a 6-cylinder inline 250 Chevy. I have had an inline 6 Bel Air. It was a 64 Chevy Bel Air 4-door, inline six, 3 on the tree with overdrive. And it was a nice, nice car. And I wish I still had it, but, hey, you gotta. I did sell that one. Or actually, yeah, I did sell it. I traded a 55 Buick for it. And that car run and drove, that Bel Air. But I sold it, and I used the money to fund my 65 Chrysler police car. Anyone gonna send him a few bucks? Well, does it look like I need it with this car? You're probably right. Tires you gonna put on it? I don't know yet. Something that's I want a good tread wear on it. I want a high tread wear. Something that'll last a long time. Like the Bible verses you place in your descriptions. Thank you for noticing. I appreciate that. Where do you find these old cars? So this one was sent to me by somebody on Instagram. I actually had received a message, and he said, hey, I know where this Challenger is. If you're interested in it, I can send you the address and let you know, give you a phone number. Sure enough, about 6 months later, I went and bought it. I want a 68 Buick Wildcat. Thunderhead 280, I mean, not Thunderhead. Junkyard Diggs might. He likes those Wildcats. What color are you going to paint it? This is it right here. You see it. Are old Dodge motorhomes worth saving? Yeah, for the engine, for sure. How much is this costing you? Is it easy? A lot and no. Well, it's really not a lot. I mean, you can do budget stuff here and there. I haven't really spent a ton of money on it yet, but no, it's not easy. But that's just part of learning. Nothing's easy if you want to do it right. Any classic Mopars you just can't stand, aesthetic-wise, 68 to 74. I don't like a 72 to 74 Charger. Those are really the only cars that I cannot get into. 71, I kind of like the RTs. I can get into them easier, but I just cannot get into a 72 to 4 Charger. Dylan, do you have any tips for a 318 for power, maybe things to watch out for? Also, do you do shout-outs? Hey, ACC Garage. There you go. I met you at the Nationals, the Mopar Nationals. For 318s for power, mild head work. If you can open up the intake valve or the intake ports to match a 4-barrel intake. A 4-barrel intake would help. A good carburetor, a properly matched cam, and some headers, good exhaust. You'd be surprised by what a little 318 can do with just a little bit of work. They're pretty stout, pretty potent little engines if you do the right things to them. But run a thin head gasket or something like that, or get some. If you can find a 318 with some swirl port heads like the 302 casting with the small chambers, you can really do some damage with a mildly worked over 318. Just don't overcam it and don't go all out. Just be smart with it, you know what I mean? You keeping the rear end the same? Yeah, I want to run the 8 3/4. I really like that setup. The fact that it's already got one makes it easy, so yeah, I plan to. I'm gonna make another video on the budget 67 Dart. One day, yeah. One day I will. I've been working on it, put a carburetor on it, and spark plugs, plug wires, and it's got a low compression in one cylinder, so I'm going to check the valves, see if they're actually set right. It's got a lot of blow-by, so I don't know if it's blowing oil past the rings or what, but it's got a misfire, and when you pull a plug wire on that cylinder, it doesn't change anything, so I don't know. When are you aiming to have this project wrapped up? I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. I'm just doing what I can while I can. I'm hoping to have it. I'd love to have it done by next summer, but I don't think that. I don't know. I don't have a deadline set. I'm not setting a deadline for Power Tour for myself like I did the Charger, because this car needs a lot more work, and I don't want to rush this car. I want it to be nice and be the way I want it to be. So I have no deadline, but I would like next summer to be kind of close to done, at least running and driving. How many Mopars have the reverse threads for lugs? Uncle had one and thought it was odd. Yes, I have had I've got a few. Let's see, my Charger was one. My police car is still one. I think that's it that I have now that I still currently own. But yeah, I've had a couple. When are you gonna get back in the Charger? She was looking good last time we saw it. I don't know yet. Maybe I'll drive it on Power Tour next year, but it needs a lot of work before I can get to that point. It needs another torque converter, something to do with the cooling system because it runs hot. I need a transcooler that would fix it. Exhaust fixed, wipers, brakes need to be looked at. Got grinding noise that I haven't sorted out yet. I need to power window switches so I don't have to roll it down while I'm driving down the road. Well, it needs quite a lot. But it needs floors, which they work for now, but I'd like to be able to have that car to drive. But it can't right now. It's just the Power Tour was just about miserable in that car. But it was fun, but gosh, it was a lot of work. Engine bay is super clean. Yeah, not too bad. Sorry, how much money is this costing you? And is it easy because I might be working on one that is in much better condition than yours by a long shot? No, it's not easy, and it's going to cost you money. So definitely not. Don't go into it expecting it to be easy. Oh, there's my Simply Safe talking to me. Anyway, it's not going to be easy. Don't expect it to be easy, but that's why you got to learn how to do it. You got to get in there and start working on stuff. Then it gets to be where it is easy. Somebody had a challenge. Bought a 74 Challenger 2 months ago. Do you have any frame rail issues? Yes, I have some rot, and I'm not sure whether to repair or replace. They make frame rail sections and frame rail caps, depending on how bad it is. Yeah, this car on the passenger side is pretty much gone almost on the bottom side of the frame rail. So I'm going to have to replace at least the back side of the frame rail. So any of your cars for sale? Not at the moment. Now, well, I do have a 62 or 3 C10 step side I'll sell. What's the temp in the shop? The Wi-Fi went down. That's why it's yelling at me. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, the temp of the shop is probably like high 50s, low 60s right now. I got the door propped open because I was welding, and it's been raining, so the temperature's been higher than normal. We just had a pretty bad thunderstorm come through here, and some tornadoes were rolling through here, but we're good. Challenger getting a late model engine in it, right? Or different engine? Yeah, 5.7 Hemi. So one day. We've already got the engine, just got to put it in there. Any snow? Yes, we did get some snow last week, and now it's a tornado. So thought projects were never complete. They're not. They're never complete. Hello from random Lake, Wisconsin. Hello. Glad you're here. How bad is winter down where you live? Not bad as far as right now, mainly because it's been raining and the temperatures have been staying up, but it can get bad. I mean, we had freezing temps the other day and snow, so. Sounds complicated to put a Jeep engine in it? No, not at all. Kevin, this guy's asking if you sold your Mustang. I would answer it, but I honestly don't know if he did or not. You know, put AC one day. I'd like to. I don't know if I'm going to clear coat it, dude. I have no idea. I've already answered that question. Can I have a shout out? Hello, Jack. Also, I'm watching you whilst building my Holden. Cool. Any advice for beginners on working with 71 Firebird? Don't get overwhelmed. Don't get mad. Or if you do get mad, walk away from it. And be patient. And do all the research that you possibly can. Get in there and just start learning. You going to return to work on the AMC Javelin's coil? Probably not. I don't plan to. It was just fun for that day. I work on cars all day. I have no interest in a project car. They're nice when I'm not working on them on YouTube. The one that I would like to have back would be my 70 Dodge Swiftline long bed 3 on the tree. Yeah, those are fun trucks. Those straight axles are interesting, though. Yes, yeah, my camera is ready for setup. Yep. Camera do you use? Let's see, where is my camera? Oh, it's in my bag. I will show you. This is a Canon 80D. So an 80D. I'll put it right back here so you can see. This is Old Faithful right here. This is my second camera. I broke my first one, so I had to get a new one. But it is a Canon 80D, and I use this, I think this is a Rode. Is it? I don't know. I don't remember, but it's a shotgun mic with a wind sock on it, and it works pretty good. I really like this camera, though. The autofocus and the zoom is great. It's got good quality. It's super heavy, but Kevin will make fun of me for that one, I'm sure, if he hears me talk about it. Hello, Mook. Glad you're here. Need to patch the floor, but never cut metal or welded before. Scared to screw it up. Hey, I'm no expert welder, but there's a floor pan. It'll hold itself up. That's the good thing about it. No, I think that anybody can do it. You just got to practice. Go get you some scrap pieces of metal, practice welding, and you'll get the idea. You'll get the hang of it eventually. So don't be scared to do it. You just got to do it. And you can fix anything you mess up. You know, there's always patch panels or ways to weld up holes that you've burned through. So don't worry about it. What's in the Ford? There's no Fords in here, so I don't know which one you're talking about. You're gonna recover the seats? I don't know. I don't know what I'll do with the seats. I kind of want something with a little more bolster, like I did with the Charger. So I don't know what I'll put in there. Plus, it's almost cheaper to buy new bolstered seats than it is to recover your old ones. See the rain outside. It's raining pretty good right now. Best website to get parts from? It depends on what you're getting, but Rock Auto has a lot of good replacement parts. It's a nice camera. Yeah, it's a good camera that I've used for the past year, I'd say, but I love it. It's always been a really good camera. I used to use a Canon T3i before that, and it was on the tripod one day, and the air hose caught it, and it landed on the lens, so you couldn't focus it. So if I got a new lens for it, I could still use that camera. But I thought, you know what? I had that camera for like, gosh, I want to say 4 or 5 years, and it was just like time for an upgrade. I said I'm tired of using this one, so I got a. Does anybody know what is in the Ford? I don't see a Ford in here. There's only a Challenger and a Dodge truck. I don't see any Ford. What verse you put on the back window of the Challenger? That's a good question. I did Romans 10, 9 through 10 on both the Dart and the Charger. I don't know if I'll mix it up with something different or go with the same thing. So we'll have to see. Did you ever do a Mad Max style car? If so, what car would you pick? Probably something 4-door. It's something I don't care about. Probably like the Cordoba. Sir, this is a Dodge. This is not a Ford. There you go. There's your proof. It has a 360 Dodge engine in it. It is not a Ford. Floor pan in the Challenger looks good. Thank you. It's been a lot of hard work. It is almost done. I still like spot welds along that front side, and then finishing up tacking in the floor hump, and it is done on the front. Thank goodness. And I'll clean up a little bit of my welds where I didn't do so hot, make it look a little bit nicer, then seal it up with some seam sealer. And we're done. And then we got to move to the back one, and then we'll go to the wherever next. You can add sound deadener? Yes. Looking at that, I'm not sure where to stop. Yeah, I will put sound deadener in this car, actually. I do want to have this thing pretty quiet on the inside. I've got sound deadener, insulation, and then carpet to go on top of it all. So it'll actually be pretty nice. I actually have some plans for sound deadener to go in it. Was your Blue Dart originally a V8 car? Starting a 72 now, and it's a slant car. A lot of stuff to do. No, it was not. It was originally a slant 6 car. Slant 6, drum brakes, automatic, and I swapped across my first car, 74 Dart Sport, had disc brakes, a V8 car, had the spool mounts. I changed over everything, which if I remember correctly, the 67 to 72 cross member is the same, regardless if it's a 6-cylinder or a V8. If I remember correctly, you'll need to do some research and make sure I'm saying that right. But I believe they didn't change until 73 when they went to the spool type mounts. That's when the cross members were different. I like the spool type mounts better because they're strong. I mean, the mounts are stronger. If you break a mount or the rubber deteriorates, it's still bolted in, and that's what I like about it. But you have just the biscuit type mount, which there's nothing wrong with it at all. I think the cross member is the same, if I remember correctly. Just double check me on that. You ever owned a motorcycle or plan to? I did have one motorcycle that I bought to resell. I rode it one time, like maybe 30 feet, and then I turned around and put it back up. I didn't even go over 20 miles an hour because it scared me. I think I just drove it to move it, to put it on a trailer, and then I said, no more. You ever do your own trans work? No, I haven't. That's one thing I've never done. I'm always scared to do something like that because that's a lot of time and effort to be put in the transmission to have it not work. So got a friend that's really trustworthy and does really good work on transmissions, and I've always let him do it. So future McCool Dig Thunderhead collab? Yes, one day. We got to meet back up and do some kind of videos again. I hadn't hung out with those guys in a while. So Kevin, they're still asking about your Mustang GT. Did you sell it? Okay, you said yes. Thank goodness. Oh, I was talking about the Mustang. There's no Mustang in here. I'm so confused. You're going to stop working on the Challenger? No, we're just getting started. We got a lot to do. You like Corvettes? Yeah, I do. Some of them. Some of them I do. What kind of car does your dad have? He's got a lot. That's his truck right here, actually. That's not mine. This is his truck. He's got quite a few. Era of music do you like? I like classic rock. I like just about anything. I can get into a lot of different genres. The only thing is I don't really like to listen to are pop music, like new modern music, as far as like, what you hear on the radio, pop music. I do like some like new music. I do like new music, just not like poppy. I just can't get into it, stuff like that. I don't know, but I like rock, rap, country from all different decades. I listen to mostly older stuff though, but I can listen to a lot of different things. I'll say one of the most listened to artists that I frequent would be Waylon Jennings, the Eagles. A new artist that I like, you guys need to check out if you're into country and western, is Coulter Wall. Very good artist, very talented. He's 25 or 6, and he's incredible. But I like a lot of different stuff. You keeping the rear defrosters? I forget that this car has that, and I don't plan to change it. So yeah, it's gonna keep it. I don't know what I'll do with it. I'll see if it works, but we'll see. '68 Charger and '73 CUDA owner. What should I fix up first? The CUDA will be easier to work on, that's for sure. The Charger, I don't really like working on the Chargers as much. I like these cars better. They're easier to work on, and I like these cars better. But the Charger would look really cool. I like seeing this kind of raw footage of where the project is at. Yeah, I think it's pretty fun just to take a second and stop. You know, this isn't a regularly scheduled video. This is just me. I literally just took a break and said, hey, let's just hang out and have a little conversation for tonight because I got tired of welding and just wanted to see what you guys have been up to, and because we hadn't done a live video in a while. Look at the progress you've made on the car. Looking forward to seeing it all done. You and me too. You and me too. I appreciate that. Had a '69 Charger RT, but it only had a 383. Fast car. Could you get a 383 in an RT? In a Charger? Mine had a 383 HP in it, but it's all good. We'll do about 5 more minutes, and I'm going to head inside because it's getting pretty late. I'll answer a few more questions. Did you go to college for auto mechanics? If so, where did you go? No, I did not. I actually went to college for marketing and business. I did not go for any kind of engineering or automotive. This is just me on the side doing my hobby. No, I went for marketing. You're going to take this on Power Tour 2020. I'm not holding anything. I'm not going to say that I am or not. That's not the goal. It would be fun to do that, but I'm not pushing it. Hope mine turns out as nice as yours. Getting to get running and driving now, and then hunting the disc brake setup at 8 3/4 or 8 1/4 rear end and build a 360 to drop in there. Sound like you've got a plan. Awesome. Sure, late model Hemi engine got a throttle cable or fly-by-wire. It currently, I believe it's drive-by-wire. I would assume for 2015, y'all have to convert all that to a cable-operated throttle body. What make you prefer over Mopar, Chevy or Ford? I like them both, but I tend to lean more towards Ford products just because that's what I've grown up around. Car looks great, but sometimes I see a hint of green. Am I seeing it wrong? No, it kind of shape shifts and color shifts. It just depends on what the light is. What type of Corvettes do I like? I really like the first generation single headlight Corvettes. I think those are beautiful. You like the Greta Van Fleet? I don't know. I can't get over the fact that they sound so much like Led Zeppelin. And they had a couple good songs that I liked, but I don't know. Not my favorite. Get a 240 SX. I used to want to back in the day, like way back in the day, back when they were really big on YouTube, but no. I don't plan to anymore. Waylon. Dang, I'm way behind on the comments, aren't I? Favorite Mopar? Challenger. Like the movie Vanishing Point? Yeah, that's why I got a Challenger. Absolutely. What's going on with the Charger? Nothing. Nothing at all. Did you get the badges in the mail? I have not checked my P.O. box. I need to go check that. I appreciate you sending them, though. Kevin might go live. Bye, Mook. Glad you came. Appreciate you visiting. What is the most daunting, dreaded project you have ahead of you on the Challenger, and why? That rear frame rail. That's kind of making me nervous because a lot of things can go wrong if you don't have everything set up the right way and have it aligned properly. And that's kind of worrying me. But it's nothing we can't do. But we'll get it taken care of. All right. Couple more questions, then I'm out. Hold on. What you paint her? Nothing. You gonna repaint it? No. What, Bradley, dude? Quit asking about the F-250. Patina killing it. I don't know what that means. Any more uploads this week? I don't know. It depends on how much work I can get done with the floor pans. Scott Speed Shot. What's up, man? Glad you're here. Dylan, I'm wishing you the best of luck with the Challenger, brother. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Any turbo plans for the Hemi? No. No. Not for this car. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and head out and go ahead and call it a night. We are done. I appreciate all of you coming out and visiting. It was really cool to talk with you guys. Hadn't done a live video in a while, and I just wanted to talk to you real quick. It was a lot of fun. Dad's still working on the Petty truck. I'm still working on the Challenger. You know, it's just how things work. But you know, we'll try to get videos out as quickly as possible. The Challenger's the main thing right now. I want to really keep focusing on it and get a lot of stuff done. And hello, Junkyard Mom. Glad you're here. Merry Christmas to you as well. Anyway, I just wanted to hang out and talk with you guys for a little bit and just kind of give you a little behind the scenes look. But again, if you liked the video, go like it. Go watch the other series of this car. The playlist is out. Make sure you're keeping up and hit the subscribe button. Get your notifications on. That way you don't miss anything. And I appreciate everything you guys have done for me. And again, we'll shoot to get out uploads as soon as possible in this car because I really do enjoy it. I get excited talking with you guys and getting stuff going and keeping stuff progress made. It's really fun to do this stuff. I really do enjoy it. So again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.